I had my first business when I was 18 years old. Ran that for about 2 years. I was headhunted to a good company. Didn't think much about it. Took the offer, worked my ass off and climbed the ladder really fast. 3 years there, I was able to climb up to the general manager role. It took everything out of me. Every ounce of energy, time, and effort. I was working from day until night, 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. I would just knock out of bed, hit the office, get the works in through the clinic time, patient's time. And then after that, also catching up on work time as well, checking with my boss. And then all the way I would work until about 8 to 9 p.m. to get the work done. I did that for a good 4 years straight. It's great, pay's good, but my health was not good. My mood was definitely worse. And then I started another company. Now I started a company with another doctor. It goes well initially, put a lot of effort in it because every business I start, I think of it as my baby. It literally is something that I put so much effort and work in. After that, I've realized that it wasn't healthy to continue working in the medical industry anymore, mentally for me at least. And I just couldn't find the purpose of keep doing it. I sold my part of business over. I moved interstate, and before that, I've already started another company as well. Right now, I'm currently on my 5th business. This one is the hardest one so far. It's the longest running business I have ever done. The longer of our time in the running of a business, the harder the thoughts get because I've now grown beyond the point of it's just a year or 2 years. This current business now that I have has been running for 5 years. It's the first basically e-com business that I'm doing. Prior were all service-based, in-person kind of thing. It was a lot easier to deliver in service, but now it's all about online, social media, emails, campaign, advertising, all that stuff. In the last 5 years, I've learned a lot. But throughout that period of learning, it's almost as if the business owner, you have to always appear as if nothing is wrong. Because even when we talk to our customers, right, you smile, you're happy and all that, but behind that 100 problems, what you need to fix, the expenses, do you have to cut your overhead costs to save any money as well? Because not every business out there is performing at a really good, healthy margin. Even a really good coffee shop, they have a very high expense also. In order to do well, you sort of have to spend a lot to get supply, and also at the same time you have to have staff. It's every time we make a new approach, we test something that's new, if something is different for the business, it's a uncertain period of not knowing, will that work or will I just waste money? It will be data, yes, but at the same time, as soon as you implement something, you hit publish or you hit live on that certain project, sometimes you get an instant feedback if it's good. Initially, when you launch that product, it doesn't do well, and then it takes 5 to 6 months until the SEO, the demand is that the customers is there. They start telling each other, their friends about it. And that product later on would outperform the rest. Because that has happened at least 3 times for my business now. There's 3 products that when I launch, it doesn't do very well. I'm at this close to discontinuing it. And then all of a sudden it's like orders about that product and it's outperformed the rest. I'm like, but why? So sometimes we have to let things mature itself. Things need to take time to marinate. Just because that product that didn't sell well when you launch, it didn't get any reviews, it didn't move a lot of stuff for the first 6 months, it doesn't mean that product right away is a write-off. Most of the time, yes, that's a very sensible move to write off, but at the same time, if I have written that off earlier, I would have lost that sections of customer that wanted that product. That uncertainty period is something like between knowing will that work or not, it plays with our mind so much as a business owner. It makes me think like, did I make the wrong decision? Why did I spend like tens of thousands on this product when it may not work? Why did I order hundreds of kilos of that? Because now I might have to hold it to stock or sell it at a loss even. So all of that thoughts in between working itself out until you get the good result, you're battle with that thoughts every day. And at time, those thoughts, we have to act still that nothing is wrong, but a lot of things on our mind. That's how stubborn entrepreneurs are. Very stubborn, because I refuse to somewhat accept that it's a defeat. There are times where I'm like, okay, look, this product is not going to go anymore. There's a product that we launched a year ago. It does well, actually. It got good reviews. At the same time, I'm like, if I need to pull back the money on that product and I want to focus that money on our best-selling product, I have to make a difficult decision to discontinue a certain something as well. So there's 100 things you think about, possibility that plays in your mind, different path, different way. There's only so much limited capitals you have, but you have to spend so much. And on top of that, I'm very tempted to get a loan. We already have a loan actually, and we're paying that off as well. But all these calls of additional fundings, it's like there's more offers that if we have more money, we can do all these 10 things at the same time. But more money, more loans equal to more risk. And if I'm already suffocating as it is right now, if I took another loan, I will be pretty hard pressed. I'll probably need to go back to work tomorrow to survive. But these are the things that I go through on a daily basis, the longer as I run my business. So my approach for these thoughts of self-doubt has always been these 3 things. For me, I internalizing it by writing it down. Writing down the thoughts, writing down the possibility. Whether that means writing down your computer, that's okay. But for me, I have a fountain pen hobby. I love fountain pen. So I have a collection of pen. And when I write using the fountain pen, it forces me to slow down. It forces me to think about my thoughts. What am I drawing? Because you have to write really slowly on fountain pen. The writing continue all the time. It's an art form for me to express and pull out my thoughts into the paper. And on the computer, basically also, if I was to on the go and I want to type it out, it's like a safe space where my thoughts won't get judged. No one can see it. I can just let it out and just sort of think about it. The time that I put myself to think about it by expressing it, it's easier for me to have a look at it at a third person perspective instead of questioning internally what's going on, but I can put that thought on the computer or on paper and look at it to see, was that really, truly worth thinking like that? Or was that just simply my toxic ego mindset that's trying to control every element of my business? Writing things down has been my favorite approach. I love fountain pens. The second step is for me to take a step back from my business. That means if you need to take a day, a little bit slower, do a bit less work and just breathe. Think about what's going on. Try to take yourself away from the business so you have time to breathe. It's suffocating to stay in the business for hours on end and unable to solve the problem, plagued with self-doubts. It makes it harder for us to find a solution, to analyze our own thinking. Around me, there's a walking track. Where I live is a very secluded community where it's quite quiet, but just a few hundred meters away, the roads are very busy. But we're in this pocket where it's definitely much quieter. We've got the access to the nature, the river, like water, nature, and cows. So, and the birds chirping as well. So when I need to, all it takes for me is walk out of my front door, put a jacket on, and go for a walk. Just immerse in that, away from the screen, away from everything else, even away from people, and just think about it. I don't want to trauma dump my problems to my close friends or my family. So instead, I'll trauma dump it onto my pen and paper on my laptop, or even just breathe it out in nature. That has helped tremendously for me. It allows me to know that at the end of the day, whatever I'm doing with my business or not, I might pass on. I might not breathe in the next few years. Time is running out for business, but also for my ability to enjoy life. I don't want to walk through life with a very sad mindset of there's only my business and nothing else matters. There's a lot more that matters beyond my business. Business is a part of my life, it is my work, but it does not mean that's all there is. I would like to preserve my ability to appreciate life as much as possible. And that means if I look at the leaf, that leaf looks pretty, nice, I appreciate that. If there's a bird that's landing, bouncing around, if there's a cat, if there's a cow, if there's anything, I can stop and appreciate it in that moment. That is precisely the ability to appreciate life that I want to maintain. I don't want to lose that. That leads me to point number 3. To maintain my ability to appreciate life, I used to hate working out, but I now enjoy going to the gym. Not because go to the gym, get my muscles. I do get stronger. I maintain my bodily function, but it is my time away from my business. As you can see, the theme has been away from the business actually. Yeah, so it's been time for me to be away from my business. Movement is literally the best cure. I get to work out, I get to feel good while working out, and when I'm in motion and moving, my brain doesn't mean stop thinking about business, it still think about business. And same for you when you do other things. Like if you take your time away from business, you go to watch a movies or something, go for a walk, going camping, your brain just don't shut off about one thing. Even if you go quiet and beyond to the nature, your brain still is working out the problem. You just aren't actively searching for it, but it's working it out. And sometimes the best solutions and ideas just come to us when we're in a shower, go for a walk, when you're out camping, reading a book, being away from your computer, being away from the environment that you're forced to find a solution. So go to work out, do something else. If you pair the being away together with a movement, it's even better. And that's how I find to be falling in love with my workout a little bit more. I get to take time away. I get to think about my business, not in a pressure mindset. And also, it's good for me. So it's like, it's my personal time. So workout is my personal time, and I get to enjoy that a lot more when I know that my business won't collapse and die within the next day if I don't do this. I stay fit, I stay healthy for myself and for the sake of my business. While I do these three things, within the time of going for a walk, going for your business, write things down, express your thoughts, I always find motivation to continue again. Because when you work out, you feel good. I'm like, okay, cool, I got it. It reignites the fire in you to go do the work that you want to do for your business. Motivations can be found when you're not working your business, because at the end of the day, we have to try to remember, yes, why did we start it? How do we keep going at it? As I start posting a little bit more often, I get encouragement from our customers, from even the viewers that I don't know who they are. On YouTube, I was posting about 15 videos in a row, and then I had to take a little bit of a breather to focus on the other aspect of my business. And then I got 2 comments of like, I'm here for the journey, keep it up, don't give up. And another person's commented same, like, oh, I'm very small account. Not that I don't care about the followers at all, but the fact that someone watched my video and someone is cheering me on. I don't know who they are. I don't know who you are, but at the same time, like, oh, it's so kind to know that you're not alone out there. You're not pushing everything alone on your own, but there are a lot of people that support you, and you never know who they are. And that's the beauty of once you push through efforts, there will be some feedback. And for me, when I started posting since 2 years ago, on my business channel, we've got loyal customers who now know the brands a lot more personalized for me, and also my partners taking care of the other aspect of the business. We have different audience for the business, and it does well. But now I want to focus on my ability to talk in a much deeper topic compared to just the business product, what that does and stuff. But it's more like I want to share, I want to express those thoughts that I used to put on my pen and paper and also my laptop. I want to be able to verbally express it properly. We have to find the ability and our own approach to recover fast from those down days. If you're stuck in the days where you feel like crap for way too long, anything beyond a week, it'll become the rut or become the new normal. Then with time, that new normal of you feeling down and low for over a week, you start to grow stale. Like the life and everything start to look like it has no meaning. That could lead to depressions. I've been there and I don't want to go back there. Depression is really hard to fight. All the motivations come from within you first, to be able to appreciate little things that life has to offer. Because a lot of the demons are, 100% of the demons are the voices in our thoughts, our mind, our head. And when I was much younger, I let that demon took over me for a good chunk of time where I was feeling horrible for 6 months and beyond. Nothing I did could bring me a feeling of happiness. And it's a terrible state to be in. So that pairs with running a business is another challenge. But that doesn't mean I continue to do whatever I can so I don't get back to the stage where I have to fight that again. So for that, we keep on trying.